Today I'd like to talk to you about this pen. This is an Aurora 98. Now this is a vintage pen from the 1960s. It is made by Aurora. They are a pen company from Italy. They have been making pens since 1911. They still make them in the same factory they made them in all along, which is pretty cool. This is an interesting pen. It's got some interesting features like that, and I'll show you what that's about when I show you the pieces of the pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pieces of the pen. I'm going to give this pen some ratings out of 5. I'm going to rate the design, the function, and the writing experience. And then I'm going to do a writing sample, and then we'll be done. So let's take a look at the pieces of this pen. Okay, so let's talk about the parts of this pen. So let's start with the cap. So the top of the cap is a plastic insert. It has these lines in it. It's smooth, shiny gold plate and all this stuff around there. Clip comes down. Nice clip with a elongated kind of diamond shape there. It's got these lines going all the way around. And then it's smooth down here and it says Aurora 98. Then we got the body of the pen, and these lines kind of carved in up and down, go all the way down. Giving a little bit of texture to the pen. Actually makes it a lot less slippery, which probably is why they do it. It's clever. Plastic ring here, and then this nub at the end, shiny and pointy. I'll show you that in a bit. Then this is actually an ink window. So let's see. I can move the light so you can see that you can see through it. And then we have the section, which is also a hood. It's got an imprint here. It says Aurora in a circle. It's got the facets near the top and a gold nib. Here are those facets up near the top of the near the top of the hood, near the nib. And there's a feed, pretty simple feed. Then I'm going to pop this open so you can see what's inside. And it's kind of like a cartridge converter. Basically that kind of is what a cartridge converter is, but actually a fair size. So if you look at compared to the size of my finger, it holds a fair amount of ink. It's got a plastic plunger inside, brass ring there, the spring, which we'll get to in a moment. And then the screw there looks like it's made of brass too, so it's pretty robust, well made. Gold plated on this, these indents here for ease of working the pen. And now the spring here works the up and down function of that. So now it's elongated, and I'll show you why in a moment. So there you go, voila, and then you can actually fill your pen, work the piston, without having to take off the body of the pen, the barrel of the pen off the section, which is very cool. Like, it's a clever idea. I don't know of any other pen that does that. If there are any other ones, just shoot me a note in the comments, and I'll take a look at that and update the information. So, and then actually, I'll show you some in here. If you click it very kind of just one, as soon as it clicks you let go, it stays. If you try to do that, you kind of go right past the catch and then it won't stay, but like that it works perfectly. So yeah, so those are the parts of the pen. I'm going to give this pen some ratings out of 5, rating the design, the function, and the writing experience, and then we'll do a writing sample, and then we'll be done. Okay, so those were the pieces of the pen. Let's give this pen some ratings out of 5. Start with the design. I'll be a little bit up and down. Gold pens aren't really my go-to aesthetic, honestly. I like the look of silver better than gold. Gold and black is pretty, and this is a pretty pen, but it doesn't grab me. The lines in the gold are nice, and the clip's okay. But aesthetically, I'd really only give this pen like 3.5 kind of tops. But the mechanism, the design of the mechanism is clever. That pops out. You don't need to take off the body to work this piston. Very cool. When you do what I do with the terms of these videos and the service work that I do in people's pens, I see a lot of pens. So it's always interesting and fun and exciting for me to see something that I haven't seen before. This is the only pen I've ever come across that fills in this particular way. And hey, kudos to Aurora for doing something different, even though they were probably mimicking the 51 in styling. With the hooded nib, but hey, everybody was doing that, and maybe they were doing it on their own. I don't really know what the concept behind that was. So in the end, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 for design, just because it did something cool. For comfort, this is a 3.5. Very narrow in the section here, quite small. I find that a little bit tight. Other than that, like, the length is good. The weight is actually good. It's got some weight to it because of the metal barrel, or the gold plate in the barrel. You can post it, and it's actually not too back heavy, so that's fine. But yeah, the small section kind of bothers me. Okay, so for writing experience, I'm going to give this pen actually a 4. It was really nice to write with. It's got a really nice, pretty wet medium nib. Nice line, flows really well. Not an amazing nib, I gotta say a lot about. It just was nice to write with. Speaking of writing experience, our writing sample is next. We're gonna go take a look at that, and then we're done. Alright, so I don't normally show myself inking out pens because I don't find it that interesting to watch that, if I'm honest. But in this case, I'm going to do it because it's kind of a cool filling mechanism. I'm going to use Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. So that way it's a little more aesthetically pleasing. I'm going to use Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red mainly because it's got a nice low bottle, so it fits underneath my camera nicely. Also, it's a great red. So I've clicked that out. Fill the pen, and as you can see, you can put a lot of ink in there. Click it down, and just wipe that off. One thing you're going to want to avoid getting ink into these lines, just because this is a little bit more difficult to clean off than otherwise. Yep. Alright, do some writing with this pen. This is a Lightsturm notebook. They're blank pages, but they have this little thing you can put behind so you can not make a huge mess, which I definitely need. Now this is an Aurora 98. It's a vintage pen from the 1960s, and it is Mont Blanc Corn Poppy Red. And that's a really bright kind of fire engine red, maybe not brighter than fire engine. Anyways, bright red. And the nib is a medium nib. Let's do a little bit of writing. Well, the Gwick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Alright, so it writes really nicely. It's smooth. There's a little bit of feedback on it, I think. I don't mind it so much. I might tune the nib up slightly to bring it down a bit, but as it is right now, it's writing really nicely. This is not a pen I restored. This is a pen I acquired. Vintage pen. I don't know if anyone's ever restored it or it's just been in good shape, but you know, I like it. Let's try writing quickly. Definitely keeping up, and it's actually a nice wet pen writer, so I'm gonna give that a second. Yeah, yeah, it's a nice wet writing pen, which I love, and not too wide of a line. I'm a big fan of broad pens, but I don't know, these days I'm finding myself getting drawn back more to, not necessarily fines, but mediums a bit. I don't know. I think you just go through stages. But yeah, so let's see. Is there any line variation in this? There's a little bit. I had someone comment in a previous video saying I was flexing a pen too much. If anyone's wondering about that, I'm very aware of how far I can flex these pens. I have a fair amount of experience. I do service work for pen shops here in Toronto. It's about feel, and I can definitely feel how far you can push it. I never push a pen even close to the point where it feels like I'm in any kind of risk. That being said, people at home, be careful with your pens. You don't want to say, I want to see how much this flexes and then ruin a nib, because that would be sad. But yeah, so it's got a little bit of line variation, but not a whole bunch, if that's what you're looking for. But I'm not necessarily. This is not really what this pen's for. So I just want to say that when I'm filming this, I'm in early November of 2016, and we just recently had our pen show here in Toronto, and it was really fun. I had a table again this year, and I took in some repair work, and I had some vintage pens I restored for sale, and my father-in-law was there, and he has some modern pens that he sells, and it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people. So if I met you, if you're from Toronto and I saw you at the pen show, hello again. It was really great to see you. It was nice to get out and see people. And if you've never been to the Toronto Pen Show and you get a chance, I would suggest going next year. It's called Scriptus. It's a lot of fun, and I've never been to another pen show, but from what I understand, it is a very different experience than other pen shows. It's just a lot of people who really like fountain pens, and Toronto's really lucky. We have several fountain pen shops that service us very well, and so they're all there, and it's really a really great time to get out and see other people who like fountain pens and actually maybe pick up some good ones, because there were plenty out on those tables of very cool modern and vintage pens. And I could meet other repairers, and that's always fun. And some guy who has a fountain pen. Anyways, so this is the Aurora 98. Very cool pen. I actually like it a lot. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. There's lots of videos. There's plenty more coming. There's going to be fountain pen reviews. There's going to be drawing. I have some ideas for some other stuff that might come up through the channel. So keep an eye on it. Until then,